I just burned out after a while. It was like, this is not sustainable. I can no longer do this. And I found that also sacrificing creativity just really threw everything out of balance. And after I reached that burnout phase, I was like, okay, I have to make a change. I have to prioritize what is meaningful. Hello, welcome to another random walk. I'm Elaine, and today's random walk is at the American Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore. I wandered up here to check this out. I had never been before and wanted to see what it was all about. Apparently it is a collection of artwork from self-taught artists, so I'm just going to kind of like wander around here and explore and see what they have here in their little like garden area. The reason I'm doing this is because, as I mentioned before, I'm really like working on exploring creativity and that creative side. And it's because, as an engineer, most of my college and career life has been focused on the analytical and engineering, and really kind of got out of balance after a while with things like creativity, the arts, and just that side of my brain. So I've been doing things like this to try and cultivate that more creative side. I know that it was kind of like, over time, it felt like, especially early in my career, it felt like I always had to really focus on being a really good engineer. So it felt like I had to eat, sleep, breathe engineering, and even to where I was spending like a lot of my personal time trying to stay up on everything technical, all the latest technical things. And over time, I found out like it's impossible to do that. It's impossible to stay up on every single little thing going on in the wide world of technology and engineering. So I found I had like sacrificed a lot of my personal creative side because I was spending more time on the technical and less time on just enjoying the creative side of like arts and things I used to enjoy and love doing. Even things like just exploring artwork and like, what other people, were doing in art, visiting museums and trying new things as far as new creative outlets. All of that was kind of put on the back burner. And I feel like I had like sacrificed too much of myself in that way. And over time, I really didn't like that. I didn't like how I was feeling like out of balance energy wise. And I just burned out after a while. It was like, this is not sustainable. I can no longer do this. And I found that also sacrificing creativity just really threw everything out of balance. And after I reached that burnout phase, I was like, okay, I have to make a change. I have to prioritize what is meaningful. And I started to add things back in. I started to do things like appreciating art. I started reading for fun a lot more often. I started to do things like daily art journals, things like that, just to like really explore the creative side and find out what I enjoyed. And I found also I discovered that having an outlet for creative energy just felt like a lot more balance in life. It felt like, it feels like now I recognize it now. It's like I get to a point where I feel like I have to do something for fun. I have to like work on drawings or work on videos like this, or go to a museum and just appreciate or do something creative. And in that process, it just feels like the outlet of the energy is so positive that it kind of feels like it puts me back in balance. So I definitely feel a difference. It makes me feel better. It's kind of like exercising. When you feel like you've been stagnant for a little too long and you feel like you've been sitting around and need to get out and exercise, just move around, even if it's like going for a walk like this, and just like how much better you feel after doing things like that. That's kind of how I feel with the whole like creative art process. And it just can be like super simple things as well, like doing a daily drawing, or just you know trying new things, going to a new art class, or trying watercolors, what have you. It doesn't matter. It's kind of taking that pressure off and being willing to try new things, being willing to, experience, hey, it may not work out. I may try something and it just may like totally not work out. It may make a total mess, and that's fine. There's no pressure. There's just the act of trying and the act of like creating something new. So yeah, so that was just something that I wanted to talk about and explore as I'm like wandering this like fun little garden area, and just seeing like all the different sculptures they have here, because honestly doing things like this like gives me ideas for certain things to try over time, like things like this. I love like mosaic artwork, and you know what I love about this museum is like everyday people created this. So it's very much like these are not professionals, these are just people that felt the need to create something and did it and put it out there in the world. And so that's why I like to come to places like this, see what others have done. It gives me inspiration as well. And I find too, it's like cool metal artwork like this. I find too that just balancing out that creative side is also very much needed for the analytical side of things as well. So for folks like me who are engineers or scientists, or whatever field you are in, if it's more of like an analytical or professional field, um, having that creativity for me in engineering is helpful, because it opens up my mind in a different way and really makes me think of different possibilities, balances the energy out in a good, positive way, and it's just very complimentary. So I just wanted to offer that up to people that might be feeling like, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to explore my creative side. I have to put that on the back burner. Don't make the same mistake that I did, which was putting it on the back burner for so long that you start to lose that creative side, of you as a person. Sacrificing that, I can tell you from my experience, definitely isn't worth it. And it's just much better to explore new things, including the creative side, because it helps with the analytical side as well. So wanted to share that with you all, and happy to hear more from others out there that might feel the same or might be in the same boat of, there's something creative that you've been wanting to try for so long and you've just put it on the back burner for too long. And what are those things? What are those things that you're trying to creatively, reawaken in your life? So, yeah. So that's it for our fun walk here at the Outdoor Sculpture Garden. Thank you for taking this walk with me. I'm going to go inside and check out the interior of the museum and spend a couple hours just exploring inside. But wanted to thank you for joining me on this really fun random walk through the sculpture garden, and I'll see you on the next one.